All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome back. It is 4 minutes exactly after 10 o'clock, and I'm not going to say the temperature because the last time I think I said it was like, 60 or something like that, Cody, was it? I don't, yeah, and it's like 3 or 4.
We don't talk about the weather.
Oh, that's right, Tracie's here. That's right, we never talk about, we never talk about the weather when Tracie Lewis is in the house. Good morning and welcome, and thank you all for being here. We have, I think you guys may have the record for the most on the podcast all at once. I got 4 guests. Yeah, that's it. We've never had more than 3. Welcome to you all. Tracie Lewis to the far right. We have Zoe
Tewksbury.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to say something different. I'm so glad you just jumped right in there. Tewksbury. And Grady Chase. And, of course, the ever so handsome Cody Morrison from Barre Area Development. You guys are seniors in high school, at Spaulding High School, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously I'm going to be asking you what's coming up next year, what's happening next year, what you're going to do with your lives and everything, what's on the horizon. But Tracie, why don't you set this up and introduce these fine young kids to our listening audience?
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I had been in contact with Spaulding High School about the work-based learning program, and I had gotten a student, and then COVID hit. So we weren't able to finish out his year, and of course last year we couldn't do it. So this past fall, work-based learning at Spaulding was back up and running. And so we have Zoe and Grady here, and Zoe's been with us since the fall, and we had Carter Dayton with us in the fall, and then Grady is taking the work-based learning for this spring. So we have Zoe and Grady here until June. And they have been doing awesome for us.
So how often? Obviously, we're going to let them speak at some point. But how often are they with you?
4 days a week.
Wow.
So Tuesday through Friday. Grady is there with us from 9:15 until 11, and Zoe 9:45 to 11.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's amazing.
So we'll all usually gather at one of our offices and we'll work on various projects. We'll do organizing for events. But this is a great opportunity for 2 organizations that are really working on kind of the thick of economic issues here in Barre. And I think one rationale that at least I look at is if we're going to talk the talk, we're going to walk the walk, and we're going to contribute to the growth of our skill set amongst our graduates and do what we can just to train them up here while we have our great young people here and make connections and help them grow in their careers.
Yeah, and one thing about work-based learning is it's not just great for them to learn about business, because they're both going to be moving on to business in college. So they're learning things, but the help that they're giving to our organizations, Cody and I are the only employees of our organization.
Sure.
So to have someone come in and help us and come up with new ideas is great. So it's a great combined thing for all of us, I think.
So let's throw Grady on the mic right now. Grady,
Oh boy,
How's it going?
yeah, man. So tell me, so how did this all happen? Was this kind of in the fruition stages in like your junior year, or were you? How did you get? What's the story? How did you get connected with Tracie and Cody?
So I'd signed up for work-based learning. A couple of my friends had taken it before COVID, so I knew what it was, and I'd been lucky enough to get into it for the entire year. And then for the first semester, I wasn't able to get a spot to go somewhere. But then when I found out that Carter wasn't doing it in the second half of the year, the teacher said that I could take his place at the Barre Partnership, and it sounded like a lot of fun.
That's really cool. So what happens at that point? Had you met Tracie and Cody yet?
I didn't. I had to follow Zoe from the school. I didn't even know where it was. I met them both for the first time a couple weeks ago, and everything started out smoothly and has continued to be smooth.
Wow. So you both know, Zoe, you know that business is the avenue that you're going to be going down.
Yeah, I think both Grady and I are interested in it. So, like, our teacher saw that, and that's kind of, like, how we got placed together and both ended up here to kind of work towards that goal.
Now, had you known Tracie or Cody?
We had a pre-meet at the beginning of the school year, and I kind of just met them there and have been with them since then.
I know both their parents. That's how old I am, okay?
Wow. So this is great. So then what has to happen, like with the guidance department or with the curriculum, with getting school credit for this? Is there any of that going on?
So from the site, Tracie and I had to go through a background check, and there had to be just kind of a preliminary tour from the work-based learning coordinator, Michelle LaFrancis, who I'm sure many in the business community know. She's helped place many students throughout Barre. But they have to do kind of a walkthrough just to make sure that both of our offices meet all the fire code and all those good safe regulations that the school requires for programs that are taken off campus. But ultimately the students, the time that they're spending with us, the compensation that they receive is in the form of academic credit. So instead of sitting in the classroom and doing lectures and textbook stuff, they're out actually learning.
Cody lectures them all the time.
Oh, God. My God.
It's fun. But Michelle LaFrancis has done amazing with the first year that she picked a student to go. She really does amazing as to what their future is and what they want to do, and places them with the right businesses. And I think I can speak for Cody and myself saying, like, we couldn't be happier with the picks that she's done for us.
Sure. Did you and Cody have to design this internship and what it was going to entail and the school credits?
No, we're kind of really flying by the seat of our pants, really.
Yeah, we're just kind of looking at projects that need to be done and looking at just upcoming deadlines and really, I think just because our world is so broad and just reaches into so many areas that we really try to look to the students for guidance and just to see what types of projects, what career interests they're interested in.
Sure.
One example, we're organizing a visit with a business owner that's interested in a field that Zoe's particularly interested in, so that she can talk to the business owner to learn about their career field just before she goes off to college. And we're going to be looking to do the same with Grady as well.
I want Zoe to tell us more about that.
Well, so like I'm interested in going into like business management or kind of like financing. It's kind of a broad topic for me right now. I want to kind of narrow it down to like getting to meet this person and see kind of like what they do will be helpful for me to make a decision. So I'm excited to get to do that.
And what college are you going to go to?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but my top choice right now is the University of New Hampshire.
Okay. Wow. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, and I think both of you probably know well, since you've started this internship, that there's a whole hell of a lot of stuff going on in Barre, and there's like both Tracie and Cody are two separate people that are doing the work of probably a dozen people, maybe a little less, but especially for Cody. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and when it comes to public relations and marketing and getting new businesses here, getting more people to not only move to Vermont, but also to come into central Vermont and specifically Barre. Look at everything that's happening. The housing task force is just one piece of the puzzle here, but there's a ton of work that needs to be done. I mean, long after you guys are gone off to college, I mean, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, and one thing that we've focused on is, I remember when Zoe came in her first day back in the fall, and then Grady a month ago or so, we chatted with them, like, what is it that you want to focus on. And so, of course, the Barre Partnership, we do a lot of events and have things happening. So Zoe has worked on, for the entire fall, worked on a welcome packet and kind of just said, here are the things, here's kind of the idea. And she sat down and went to town with it and has done an amazing job. And then when Grady came in, we were just about to announce that the Heritage Festival was coming back after 2 years. And so, as always, I want to do bigger, better every year and bring new events. So I said, Grady, what is an event that you could see and it could be your baby? And so I'll let Grady talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was really excited to be able to work on this because I remember going to the Heritage Festival every year growing up, sitting on the side of the parade, catching candy and all that.
Yes.
So to be able to help lift that up and, see it come back is really nice. So I'm organizing a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Fantastic.
It's going to be available. There'll be a middle school age group and high school age group and then an above high school. So parents, men's league, everything like that can also participate.
Geriatric league for folks like me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's going to be held just about right after the parade on Saturday, the 30th of July. And it's going to be, the people at Northfield Savings Bank have been very nice in letting us use that new parking lot that they made to host the event.
Look at the visibility. It's crazy.
And
great.
Grady has, I said, all right, do this. And he's made spreadsheets. He's made the rules. He's done everything. And then when I said, all right, we're going to announce this, you need to put a flyer together. And he's like, well, I've never really done that. So the flyer that he made first time, perfect.
Come on.
Perfect. Wasn't it, Zoe?
It was good.
It was good. I mean, it's on our Facebook and
this
social
is coming
media.
from someone who makes flyers. A lot.
It was amazing. I'm
It's great.
shocked. Both of them, I've told them about branding and, using our colors, using our fonts, logos, everything. And they listened and amazing. I just can't say enough. He's got, spreadsheets are kind of my thing. And he's like, I got this and I got that. And I just can't say enough about it.
Consider yourself very lucky, Tracie, that I'm not designing your spreadsheets.
I know.
What else is in your pocket here?
Well, Zoe.
I'm thinking of doing something similar to Grady about creating a new event just to make the community more involved. I haven't exactly decided what to do yet, but that should be coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All Heritage Festival
All
related.
Heritage Festival,
Okay.
yes.
Wow. That's a lot right there. Anytime you create any kind of event, as Tracie well knows, there's
It's a lot of work.
There's a ton of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
And the closer you get, the more bottlenecks, and then you get to the point where you're 2 weeks out and you're pulling your hair out, and then you're a week out and you're saying to other people, stop. The ball.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. The ball is in motion. It's go time. It's game time. There's no more time left for idea generation. It's game time.
And we do have another event. That's a new event that's coming, and we just announced it last week. But I'm working with Brave, and we're doing a fashion show on Friday night of the Heritage Festival in City Hall Park. So super excited about that.
So the bottom line is there is going to be a Heritage Festival.
There is going to be a Heritage Festival. I'm hoping it's bigger and better than ever. Tons of new things happening. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Any other teasers for July?
Food truck concerts in the park.
Coming back.
One thing that's new this year is the farmers market is going to go all the way through the end of September. So in previous years, it ended at the end of August. And it's kind of when all the veggies come out, is September. So
Yeah.
why not have it go through September?
what else is what
That's
else?
not enough.
No.
okay.
For Zoe and Grady, are you guys working on? What else is in the pipe?
Like Tracie said, I've been working on the welcome packet. So that was a lot of just like things to do in Barre, trying to attract people to Barre, like visitors or whether you live here or not. Just kind of places to eat, things to do.
How many pages is it? 34,
like 30
30
something pages. Yeah.
We got to narrow it down and do some things, but
And Cody was on earlier today talking about the GICS mapping. And
Yeah, so we talked about the rock climbing gym opportunity earlier.
Yes.
Carter, our student who was with us last semester, at one point, him and I, we were looking up groups. We're just looking to build a network. This is very early on in their search for a potential business partner. So Carter was looking up the types of groups that might know somebody like that, and we're also looking at mapping stuff, zoning regulations for business recruitment prospects, and
Sure.
doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work that we typically do, which is the less fun stuff, but the more the necessary behind-the-scenes stuff. But
he just said I was the fun one.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah,
I got that.
yeah.
That's in my notes.
But you can deal with the events though.
Yeah.
But this is the great type of work that we're able to do with our students, and I think it really just shows our kids have been able to pick everything up and run with it.
Yeah.
They don't know we call them our kids.
But well, they do now.
We do. We're like, our kids aren't coming today.
But the students that
Wow.
we're getting out of Spaulding High School are really able to pick up any of these projects and run with them. And I think that really just goes to show the great work that not only the high school is doing, but specifically Michelle Francis is doing. One part of the work-based learning program that you guys are working on are things like interviews, like a lot of those soft skills, professional address, conduct, attire, things of that nature. I mean, we get stuff all the time just about some of those soft skill development activities that Michelle is working with you guys on. So outside of the trades, we talk about the trades a lot, JD, and what the Career Center is doing. Well, there's also another part to that as well, outside of the Career Center, and the high school is doing a lot to get kids ready for the workplace as well. So by the time that Zoe and Grady are able to, once they're out of high school, they're probably going to be better prepared to enter the workforce than probably Tracie and I were back when we were in high
For
school.
sure.
Without a question.
So they're really doing a great job. And anyone that's interested in the work-based learning program, any business can do this. I mean, with some exceptions, obviously, but pretty much any business can do this. They can partner with Spaulding High School, and there are plenty of them around here that have. But I put a link to the Spaulding High School work-based learning program in the chat here, so anybody can go and click on that and learn a little bit more about what they're doing and how you as a business can partner with them.
And one thing, because I do have, the business and have the students, but I was the mom of a student that did the work-based learning.
Yeah.
My oldest, before COVID, worked at GIV her senior year, and it was excellent for her. And she still has stayed in contact with Nicole from there, and so it was great for her. And so to be able to give back and do that for other students,
Yeah.
that was really something that was important to me.
I got to tell you, both of you, Zoe and Grady, that if I could relive my life, go back and do high school all again, I would be so blessed to be in your shoes and have an internship opportunity like this to present itself to me, which I didn't. But you guys are I hope you know how blessed you are to be able to have an opportunity like this, because it just doesn't show up all the time. And like they both have said, you guys are going to be going into this next chapter in your life having a broader perspective of what it means to be involved in business, in marketing, and promotions, and
doing things in the community too.
yeah, being dialed in tight with your community. I mean, if we know one thing about Barre, we know that we're community centered, and we've got so much happening here. We're all one big family, but we have to keep the edge sharp, which those two on the outside of the table do a great job with. But it's constant, man. It's like there's no off time. I'm sure you know. Tracie's working on the Heritage Festival all year long. December, she's already planning what's she's pushing around in her head what might happen in the summer. And Cody too. I mean, he's always this guy is never ever thinking about right now what's happening right now today. He's a month ahead or 2 months ahead. What could be? What can I do to make things more attractive and to bring more businesses in here and to be prepared for them and not be caught unprepared? So I think this welcome packet is just. Whew. Do we not have a welcome packet right now?
We do.
Wow. Imperative. Mm-hmm. Imperative. I mean, and that's a huge thing because you have to, Zoe, you have to put your mind, you have to imagine yourself as a 20 or 30 or 40-year-old woman who's moving for whatever reason. Maybe your husband got a job in the area. You're relocating you're pulling your roots up and you're coming to Barre, Vermont, and all you know is that it snows and it's cold
for 6 months.
For 6 months, 7.
We're not talking about weather.
No, because you're here. But you have to think like that person and like, where do I go? Where are my churches? Where are my clubs? Where's the VFW? Where's what's happening?
Where's the daycare?
Daycare. But like Cody said earlier, who's the local plumber? Who's the local plumber? Where's my city government? What do I do? Where do I go? Mm-hmm. And
she says we do have the schools in there. I didn't even. That's how much I've looked at it.
I mean, that's huge.
She's done an amazing job.
That's huge. I mean, you have to if I were breaking this down with you, my God, we'd have notepads and notepads of different areas.
Yeah, it really,
big chapters.
Being
and then break
37 pages now, it really could be 100 pages if you and
easily.
We have to kind of go through and see what's important and work through that.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's going to be something that, and it really, I think what Zoe's doing is kind of creating a real working template.
Yes.
Going forward into the future too, because we're going to be adding stuff.
Yeah.
To this,
it'll be ever changing for sure.
Sure, of course. Cody, you go right ahead. I could tell you got something to say. I could just.
I always got stuff to say.
Down for a second.
I mean, I've always got stuff to say, but this is about our students today, though. But they're just doing an awesome job. And going back to the welcome packet, this is something that we're designing to be for both the city and the town because we are one Barre.
Yes, good point.
So
great point.
If you're opening a business up in the Wilson Industrial Park, or if you're buying a house over on Prospect Street, then this is going to be applicable for both of you. So what we're trying to do is create just one template, one thing that we can pass out. Even like when we do our ribbon cuttings, before we will have met the business owner, of course.
Sure.
We don't meet the business owner at the ribbon cutting. There has to be some coordination before that. But this is something that when we find out there's a new business, we'll bring our business cards and we'll bring one of the packets and welcome them. And this is part of keeping residents here, just so they can easily navigate the community. I mean,
sure.
I recently moved to Barre about a year and a half ago after really knowing. I mean, you were the first person I called to.
Sure. He called me.
Get when I was interviewing, just because I didn't know anything about Barre.
Smart.
I figured, the Main Street program's going to know stuff about Barre, and I'm probably going to be working with her. So
yeah.
But I just think, me being in my shoes, if I had that huge packet, that would have made my life the first 6 months a lot easier.
You would have read every page.
He wouldn't have texted me every single day. Where can I get my coffee? Where can I eat? What about this? But so anyway, I want to talk about Zoe and Grady. They're both amazing athletes at Spaulding, and
athletes.
Yes.
Talk to me.
And so we can start with Zoe and what she and her team are doing. And
so right now I'm playing hockey. We've had a pretty good season. We're 14-2 right now. We've only lost to BFA, but Overall, our team just has really good chemistry, and I think that we have a big shot at making it to the gut this year. So playoffs are coming up pretty soon, so hopefully we can carry out and finish out the season.
Carl Parton has many, many, many great things to say about your team.
Yeah.
And loves covering that, by the way. That's awesome.
And then Grady is an amazing basketball player. Well, he plays like 18 sports, but basketball right now.
Got a lot to be humble about.
So we're also having a very similar season to the girls. We're 13-2.
Yeah.
Right now, our 2 losses coming to Montpelier only.
It was a hard loss, brother.
It's a hard loss. It was a really close game the first time, and the second time we had a lot of people who've been hit really hard with COVID, and
Sure.
we haven't been at full strength even still since Christmas.
Yeah. How's your coach? What's your coach like?
He's doing good this year. We got a lot of talent, a lot of athleticism, good guys, and most of our teams played together for a long time. So if we get in a groove, it's a scary sight. We can put up points quick.
I'm sure. Safe to say that you'll be on the Northfield Savings Bank parking lot central basketball tournament.
Oh yes, I'll definitely have a team in there.
Do you think you'll be too busy to play?
Well, we're gonna see how that's gonna go.
You might get pulled away if
I know.
the water cooler has
I'll
gone
help
dry.
out. He's definitely playing. And I think Cody has actually challenged him. Cody's
Oh,
been
God.
talking crap for weeks
No.
about
Cody has mentioned multiple times how he
Dude.
could give us the smoke and make some 3v3 basketball.
True. It's all true.
it is true.
Forget it.
And I'm like, Cody, stop talking. They're going to embarrass you.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And I'll say this to you both, Zoe and Grady. Cody, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's not that much older than you guys. So to go over and I'm serious. To go over and see his office and learn and witness physically with your eyes, witness what he's doing on a day-to-day basis. Busy dude. Really busy. To see that, that's got to be inspiring to you guys, because this is like tomorrow, pow, you're going to be his age, and
Yeah, it goes by fast.
it goes by fast.
Yeah.
There's no time for sitting around.
Like, I remember when I was their age, and now I have kids their age.
When I was your age, I wasn't doing anything like this. Nothing
Yeah,
like
it's
this.
definitely a really good experience because it kind of gets us out of school, but we're still learning.
Yeah.
But more towards like what we want to be doing in
Sure.
our future. So,
Yeah, I've definitely learned through work-based learning itself in the class. Teaches you like a more broad aspect of like what the job force is like, soft skills, elevator pitch, resumes, things that are important.
The interview process, too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then since I've been working with the Barre Partnership, I've learned a lot more specifically about what I want to do, like the business side of everything, but actually learning and seeing how things work in real time. Like, this isn't just us doing homework. We're actually making a difference in our community.
Absolutely.
And learning what we want to be learning. So it's been a really good
Yeah,
experience.
and one thing with both of them doing an event for the Heritage Festival, like, school is done in
Yeah,
June. They're
right.
graduating. They could be done. But,
Sure.
for them to say that they want to do an event, that's going into the end of July, probably a couple weeks before they head off to college. So
Sure.
that to me is just like
Right.
heartfelt, heartwarming. Like,
Sure.
it makes me think that this means something to them, and that really warms my heart.
Yeah. I say this too. Both of your parents are, I think, sighing a sigh of relief that you guys are essentially already successful. I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee, unless you really screw up, that you guys have a really nice path in front of you, and just stay on it, man. Even if you hit a couple of potholes, you're going to be just fine, and you always will have two folks right next to you that you can pick up the phone and call and say, "Oh my God, too. And that's really cool. That's really cool. I think one of the reasons why I love doing this, and I know that Tracie and I know that Cody understand this, is because we've learned, the three of us, that if you do something or if you have something great that's in the palm of your hand, maybe it's an idea, maybe it's something that's on paper, and you execute that without effectively reaching out to the masses in whatever medium that you do. If you don't do that, you're probably not going to have as successful of an impact or event or outreach to your community. Case in point, if you bring Rascal Flatts to the Barre Auditorium, like they were years ago, and you don't really do as great of a job telling as many people as you can in different ways, different creative ways, that they're going to be there, your event is going to have a ceiling of how successful it's going to be, and it's going to be a shorter ceiling. Am I right?
100%. I don't often agree with you either.
I know, but it's true, though.
It is.
It's true. Am I right, Cody? Yeah.
And I think one takeaway that viewers can have today and listeners and the community can have is that the future is very bright for Barre and for the world, knowing that people like Zoe and Grady are coming out of our school systems.
That's
and
right.
They're going to be our next generation of business leaders.
That's right.
And I think our community has a lot to look forward to, knowing that they're going to be in the hands of people like these two and their peers who have received a lot of the same training and have a lot of the same opportunities.
Yeah. Don't shift into neutral and be stagnant. Always have fresh ideas. Always have something in the pipe that you're thinking about.
And like you said, them working with us, when they do graduate college and are ready to get into the workforce, they have two community partners here that I can say that I will give them any kind of recommendation that they need, and I'm sure Cody would too.
Well, that's huge.
Oh, absolutely.
That's huge. Yeah. Your resume, your reputation are just they've got to be sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that they're doing over on the school side is just so essential for them just to be able to navigate the very basics of the working world. I can remember
That's right.
When I was 18, which wasn't too long ago, I remember filling out my first job application after moving off the farm, and I remember seeing the little part in the application that said desired salary, and
Yeah.
I had no idea what to put, and I think most adults still don't know what to put in there, but there are little things like that I was never taught in school that I had no idea
Right.
that I had no idea were so important. But these guys will be prepared, will know what to put into there,
Of course.
and anything else. They'll know how to write the resume, shake a hand, tie a tie,
Yeah.
and conduct an interview. So the future is bright, and they're going to be ready to hit the ground running
Sure.
once they leave Spaulding.
And when you shake the hand, give a good.
That's actually changed a little bit during COVID.
Well,
Fist bump.
this is true.
The elbow is weird. I will die on that hill. That's weird.
I just, my dad, 90 years old, would always say to me when I was in high school, when you shake somebody's hand, you look them in the eye, you squeeze their hand good. And I used to squeeze the hand, and he'd be like, not hard enough. Squeeze it hard. I'm just telling you. But first impressions, I think, is what we're saying here are important. And you've got, especially in the business world, man, perception's reality. It just is. You guys are doing great work, man, already. My God, I'm so impressed. I could never have taken on this kind of responsibility when I was this age. No way. So, kudos to you. Anything we're missing out?
No, thanks for having us.
You're very welcome.
And with that, Grady and Zoe got to get back to class.
Yeah, they do.
They got to run back to the high school, then practice tonight, and
No games tonight?
No,
now just practice.
just practice.
We're proud to have you. We're proud to have you in our community, and take every opportunity you can, whether it's print, media, digital media, whatever. Push what you're doing, just like you're doing today.
Thank you.
Being on a podcast. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Our sponsors, and the Barre Area Development, one of them, right out of the chute this morning, on a Tuesday. Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce in Salvador and Babbitt, Fecto Homes, Green Mountain Mulch, Fontaine Forestry and Millwork, Giroux General Transport, Emsley's Florists and Gifts. What a day yesterday. Valentine's Day over at Emsley's. I think they're still delivering flowers. The Cornerstone Restaurant, Gusto's, FGB Theaters, CW Creative, Vermont Custom Woodworking, ASB Financial, Barry, Montpelier Times Argus, Donnybrook Fight Promotions, with the Battle in Barry 6. When is it, Raylene? Saturday night. Of course, I knew it was Saturday. I'm just joking. It's going to be amazing. And by the way, if you want to get last minute tickets, get them here, right here, 185 North Main Street in Barrie, directly across from Nelson's. We've got the tickets for the Battle in Barrie 6 Saturday night at the Odd. Donnybrook Fight Promotion, yes. Wood Doodles, Wright Electric, Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance, Preston's Kia, Granite City MMA, and Barcelow Construction. We'll be back at noon today with a big announcement of a new community center that is going to be breaking ground here in Barrie sooner than later. We'll give you as much information about it as possible, but there's going to be another ribbon cutting in the Granite City real soon. We're going to tell you all about it at noon today right here in Aired Out.